Hungary in 1526, but then they had been pushed back here and there. And in the 17th century, Louis XIV, as we know, incited the Turks to move against the Habsburgs and to start invading. And Louis being Louis, right, gave them a lot of money. So by 1683, they were besieging Vienna. I just talked to you about this. And it took 2 months to fight them back, but thanks to the efforts of the Polish king, Sobieski, they did that. Now, this is where Savoy, a.k.a. Piedmont, a.k.a. the Kingdom of Sardinia that I was talking about before, this is where Prince Eugene helps Austria and kind of gains favor in the international community. So Prince Eugene of Savoy, which is that little, let's go back to where is Savoy. If I asked you to find Savoy, okay, where is Savoy? I don't understand where Savoy is. You see Piedmont down here? That's Savoy. Piedmont, Savoy. I don't know why they call it different things at different times. Let's see, Savoy, Piedmont, okay? So he helps the Austrians as a commander for their armed forces. He modernizes their army, drives the Turks out of Hungary, and then Hungary comes back under Austrian rule. So Austria, as we know from this map, gets back that territory, which is yay. We don't want to have growth of Austria. Hungary, here we go. So they get back this territory, and by 1699, which is the Peace of Karlowitz, which basically, with the Peace of Karlowitz, they pushed the Turks out of Hungary for the last time. 1699, the Peace of Karlowitz, is the last time that the Turks will have any kind of real power to kind of give any trouble to the Habsburgs, to the Austrian Habsburgs. The other reason why they won't be able to give them any trouble is because France is hurting. France is hurting bad. France is in a lot of debt. France goes through economic crisis after economic crisis, and France can't help Turkey out much anymore. I mean, their merchants are still there, but in terms of loans or helping out their army, they can't do it anymore. So they drive the Turks out of Hungary, and the Ottomans are basically pushed back to Romania. If you think about it, down here to Belgrade, Romania is over here. Transylvania becomes part of Romania, and the Balkans. The Balkans are down here. If this is Italy right here, the Balkans are down here. Okay, and this allows them. The getting rid of the Turks by 1699 allows them to fight in the War of Spanish Succession. Okay, and it allows them to fight on the continent and win back for the Habsburg crown Milan, Naples, the Spanish Netherlands. So Austria's, they're becoming stronger, very much so. And Prince Eugene also helps them capture Trieste, which is down here on the Croatian border. Belgrade. These are important port cities, cities and port cities. And pushing back the Turks is something that will eventually really hurt the Turks later on. Okay, so what were some defining characteristics of the Austrian Empire? Very, very multi-ethnic. Okay, lots of different people, international. Okay, but multi-ethnic. Okay, it's going to really cause problems later on down the road. We've got Germans, we've got Croatians, we've got Italians, we've got Hungarians, we've got Czechs, we've got Slavic peoples of all different ethnic identities. And even though it's still Catholic, which is one of the things that's holding it together, several provinces, Hungary, Croatia, these Austrian parts of Germany, Czech areas will have their own diets with a good amount of autonomy. So there's no central diet as well, or common laws. So that's going to be a problem moving forward. But they're all kind of held together by the nobles in these places that hold the populations down, and of course serfdom, which is prevalent throughout the area. So through Catholicism, through serfdom, through the strength of nobility, they keep order better than in Poland. And they also have the legitimacy of the Habsburg crown. I mean, that's kind of that charismatic, traditional, historical legitimacy that you can't really buy. That just comes with time. So obviously, as I said, the two unifying elements were Catholicism and the Habsburg emperors, and the Habsburgs persecuted Protestants to remain, kind of uniform religion, important. And the one Habsburg emperor that inherits the three crowns at the same time of Bohemia, of Hungary, and of Austria, they orchestrate this through a lot of deal making and finagling and buying off nobles and lots of good stuff. That's Charles VI. Charles VI, the Holy Roman Emperor of Charles VI, is very important. 1713, Charles VI, and he issues a document known as the Pragmatic Sanction. Pragmatic Sanction ensures the permanent unity of the Habsburg territory. Never again will there be a separate crown for Bohemia, a separate crown for Hungary, and a separate crown for Austria. They will all be one. Later on this changes, but for now, for our intents and purposes, there will be no more dividing these crowns. And he has no male heir. Charles VI has no male heir. His daughter, Maria Theresa, which we will study more in chapter 7 and 8, I think, she will be recognized as the rightful heir. So essentially, when Charles VI dies in 1740, this pragmatic sanction will be put to the test by Frederick the Great of Prussia. Frederick the Great of Prussia will immediately say, I don't really buy this whole pragmatic sanction thing. I don't respect Maria Theresa as a ruler. I am going to go to war with you. That creates the War of Austrian Succession and will, in the end, strengthen Prussia. But we can get into that later. But just so you know that that's coming down the road. But another big takeaway is that the Habsburg dynasty is finally hereditary, or at least on paper. Okay, so let's go to Prussia, because that's really all you need to know about Austria at this moment. Really all you need to know. Let's go to Prussia and growth of Prussia. Okay, so look at this. Brandenburg in 1715. Okay, small fiefdom, small dukedom. Acquisitions over the course of 150 years, not much. Okay, number 2. And this is Brandenburg in 1614 in the pink, and then the dashes are Brandenburg, Prussia at the end of the 30 Years' War. Okay, so they have the Duchy of Prussia over here, Brandenburg here, Pomerania up here. They have these little dinky things over here. But, they would like to really combine these three, wouldn't they? So at the death of the Great Elector by 1688, that's what they have. Frederick William, the Great Elector, 1688. Number 3. Prussia in 1688 in the pink, solid pink, and then acquisitions from 1715 to 1748. This is Silesia. This is what they're going to get in the War of Austrian Succession. This is very, very lucrative territory, very rich in natural resources. They control the entire Oder River. I don't think we need to, and the kind of parts of the Vistula too, so I don't think we need to know much more than that. I don't need to say more than that. And then acquisitions until 1807, which is when they finally get beaten to a pulp by Napoleon, they completely destroy Poland, right? They take Poland in 1772, they partition Poland, and then they get the rest of it later. So they are becoming a force to be reckoned with by 1807. So they have this thing, this saying. It's called Drang nach Osten. Okay, this will be something that I'll Drang, D-R-A-N-G, Nacht, N-A-C-H-T, Drang nach Osten. What this essentially means is push to the east. They always, this Prussian mentality is that Slavic